Everything we can perceive in life needs energy for its existence. Flowers turn to light every morning, but the more obstacles we put between them and the sun, the less they will grow. If we put them in complete darkness, they probably won't survive for long. With our lives, it's the same. Just as a flower is not opened by force, our heart is not opened by effort, but by trust and love. Those obstacles that prevent us from feeling that love and trust are doubts. And we must allow ourselves to give them up to open ourselves to this infinite power of well-being for which everything's possible. So,
What's this? You are going to play the doctor? Oh my god, I don't want to see this.
why do people lose trust in the source of well-being and replace it with doubts? We can see infrared light from the sun or radio waves, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. For example, we can feel infrared on the skin like heat, and we can pick up radio waves by a receiver which translates them into sound, and we can hear that. The God, that is the energy of well-being, which is our source, we can also only feel or perceive when we tune into it. But the resistance that prevents us from feeling and thus receiving this energy are various learned patterns of thinking and beliefs from others and the resulting doubts. So the worst thing for us is when we perceive someone who has disconnected from God as an authority and we trust them when they teach us how things work. Those are often parents, teachers, doctors, scientists, the media, and so on. This way, we turn away from God from whom everything is possible. Then we think and feel within limiting beliefs. And that influences which hormones our endocrine system produces. And our cells and genes respond by producing different proteins that make up our body. So, if the brain finds any doubts, like we can heal without the help of a doctor or something outside of us, then various processes in the body begin to behave according to this belief, and so the body can't regenerate itself. Because the mind works on the principle, show me and I will believe. It wants to see God first, but the God can only be felt, and that's why so many people have lost confidence in their true selves. They forgot to feel. Mark 11:24, Jesus says, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. But if we were taught by others to listen to them and then to our mind, which is basically a copy of their behaviors, then we are not able to believe this. And since we must first believe, that is, feel, and only then we will see, we cannot use the mind. So, what we can do to start to feel the God in ourselves again is to learn to relax so much that our brain activity lowers. Thus, the networks of neurons in which the limiting information is written are less active and we begin to be more sensitive. That's why, for example, Einstellen is such an effective technique, because thanks to trusting Bruno Groening, you are able to get into deep relaxation, opening yourself to the source of well-being, and gradually you will start to feel it. The better we feel, the more energy flows through us, and the worse, the more we resist it. Therefore, the most important thing is to learn to pay attention only to thoughts, things, and ideas that make us feel good. If we think that we have to solve some problem, then we actually strengthen it with our attention. It's literally like with shit. The more we dig into it, the more it will stink and everything will be dirty. I apologize for the expression, but it's necessary to emphasize it. So put the shit label on all the things you don't want. Literally, start to perceive everything you don't want as shit. All diseases, problems, negative feelings and thoughts, behaviors of others that you don't like, and so on. Only then you'll realize how much time and attention you pay to shit every day, and then you wonder why things are not working out for you. What do we do with shit? We leave it to nature, i.e. to God. We don't talk about it all day, and we have to do the same with everything we don't want, whether it's a disease, lack of something, or anything we don't desire. We simply must not be willing to pay attention to it, because attention is energy, and where we direct energy, that we create. Therefore, the source of evil does not exist, and evil will be in our lives only as long as we nurture it with our attention. So, if we will be willing to pay attention only to well-being, then our life begins to look like it. Therefore, the path to everything we desire is a feeling journey. If we want to be healthy, we must move from the feeling of fear to the feeling of trust. That's why anything which helps us to change the feeling works. So, trust that for this power, which is your source, everything is possible. We see it as it controls trillions of cells and processes in our bodies and in nature every day. So admit that this power is more capable than the human mind. Believe that this power does not judge because it does not flow from the mind. Believe that it always hears you, so it's enough to ask only once for what you want. Perceive all unpleasant feelings, including pain, as a signal that you need to recharge. They are like the warning light in a car that illuminates when you need to refuel. So, when you relax into the pain and stop worrying that your condition is getting worse, and you rather start to feel joy, then you'll get rid of all the resistance by which you allow this source energy to solve everything. You will feel it like various electrical impulses, tingling sensations, goosebumps, pressure, heat, and so on. From a physiological point of view, this is the point where the stress hormones are replaced by regenerating hormones and the body can heal itself. If you won't be able to relax, allow yourselves to scream and cry if you feel your body needs it. This is very important because it's often anger that can pull us higher from low vibrations, and we get rid of resistance by crying. Deterioration and regulatory pain, gurgling, farting, vomiting, fatigue, palpitations, etc. are all parts of the healing process. Just trust this power and do not judge the process. So do Einstellen or meditate as often as you feel you need to replenish energy, and do it out of joy, not from the feeling that you have to solve something. You don't solve anything, and leave all the problems to God, just as you leave shit to nature. And a bonus at the end. One of my friends is 31 years old, and every time he catched something, he started to look forward to finally getting sick. But he just never could get sick, because the vibration of joy without resistance keeps you tuned to different reality, so everything always passed him within a few hours. Over time, I also learned this, and I can confirm that it works very well.
I kissed the pillow dream on.